Young people play a vital role in shaping a country's vision as they bring fresh perspectives, innovative ideas, and energy to the table. Today, we will highlight the work done at Umurava, a tech startup in the talent management and edtech space with a mission to build Africa's largest workforce specialized in digital economy careers.
Let me start from myself. Because like Umurava, what we are into, we are basically, we call it to address skills gap for the digital economy. And this is one problem, but which ends up causing the issue of lacking employees across different companies and organizations, but also now with a tough issue of youth unemployment. For me, to come to build Umurava was to basically solve those two problems and making sure that how do we get a solution which can help us to solve unemployment among young people, but at the same time, enabling companies and organizations to find a productive workforce that they are looking for, especially focusing on digital economic careers. For me to come to do this, I left my corporate job because I have seen that it's my responsibility to contribute to solving this youth unemployment issue. And guess what? We are now 2 years and 9 months who have already now matched 800 plus talents with jobs and projects across 100 plus companies and organizations. That's the first role, basically now from my own perspective, basically helping a country to solve an employment issue. So now the other young people, the role basically comes in different ways. There are other fellow entrepreneurs like me, building innovations in agriculture, energy, climate, whatever, across the different sectors. That's the first role. Young people getting their skills and the knowledge in a practical way to build innovations across the different sectors. Another point, number two, is these young people, again, who are employed across the different organizations. You will see that most of our young people, they are even well trusted. They have big roles they are doing, either both in the public and even in the private sector. You will see them really initiating different things where they're working from, which now gives the sense of accountability to them to even say, I'm given a responsibility to do this job. But at the end of the day, you look at the job based on it, the impact. If you are to serve people, then you have to serve people. If you are to take care of something, you have to take care of something. So that's basically the role of young people is this. As long as you're in the private sector, as long as you're an employee somewhere, it's always making sure that you understand the mission, the vision behind the organization you're working for. That's number one. Number two, to always make sure that you align even your skills and expertise to countries' problems, to community problems, for you to make, basically for you to become, I would call a valuable citizen, for the community and even for the country in general, which ends up, once you do better and you're in Rwanda, that's how you go continental, that's how you go global as well. That's basically what I see for young people, basically having to contribute in terms of being practical on what basically we have to do. Yes. So I do believe it's tough. Anyways, it's tough to leave a corporate job. You are comfortable, you are getting good money, and you come in the hustle of building a startup business like the one we are building. Remember, we are solving a problem, and the top of big problem of unemployment, you build a business model around it. There are two different things which are really, really difficult. And the uncertainties are still, I think, there as we are still at the early stage. But what really enabled me to say that this is the right decision or the right path is when now we look at after 2 years and 9 months, you have impacted more than 800 young workforce to find the living, to find the job opportunities. And you see some of them survive because Umurava exists. You see some of them have shaped their, career growth. When you get a job, even you are going to contribute to your family members. You find the people, you are changing the life of the people, and we see that. For us, we live that impact. That's where you are like, you know what? This is basically the solution to scale it to thousands of young people, not only in Rwanda, but across Africa, to ensure that we can create massive job opportunities for young Africans who even most of the times when you will get the job, you will even pay your young sister, young brothers school fees, education. And that's how you see you impacting the generation. Then you are like, Now this is basically the problem to solve. This is the solution to solve it. And I always say, as long as an African can't find the skills that you want easily, and they can't find the job opportunities that they want or they are qualified for, we will not stop to build this solution we are building. That's basically something I always say. And I'm glad that the whole team of Umurava is committed to really tackling this massive problem. Yeah.
How was your journey? What challenges?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I would highlight maybe three. Number one, it's the issue of, to us, remember, we are coming to tell young people that we are here to source job opportunities for you from different companies and organizations. We really get companies and organizations to trust us because of our innovation, and you come, you find that some young people who are qualified, some of them are not even going to work very well or to deliver really the successful job as you expect and as our employment partner expects. You find that to be one of the sub-problem of the problem I wanted to add to something around, where we even find the jobs and we don't find those skills on the market. And that's really a big problem because it shows us that we are solving basically the existing problem. Number two is the issue of not getting enough funding, because at the moment we have managed to raise some funds from different organizations. But to find that one, it really requires to do more than what people think. You will apply to more than maybe 50 fund providers, only 2 or 1 will be the one for you. You understand there's a high dedication, a hustle around that. And even you find that for us in Rwanda, we don't have many funding mechanisms for startups. And you find now that to be a big limitation. We are ending up going to raise money outside because even a local ecosystem doesn't have the mechanisms really favorable for startups. Maybe they have the ones for these SMEs, whatever, but startups models, we don't have funding mechanisms in place. You end up going even to raise abroad, and some of them will tell you, if local didn't trust you, why should we trust you? You get a point. So that's really one of the other tough problem. Number 3 is almost basically the last one of building a team. For us, we are growing. I told you that we are now almost getting 25 people in the house. And breeding those people from one person, that's a big supply chain to build it. It's tough on a daily basis. You end up implementing a lot of coaching on a daily basis, setting up a lot of systems and processes in a place which are not easy. But again, remember, we are a talent platform company in nature. If we can't have high-performing workforces, why should another company trust us? So that's a big issue. That's a big accountability mechanism that we put in place. And as many people know and see, we tend really to have a high-performing guys and even really bright guys, which I think we're on the right path to achieve that, but it's still tough because as the team grows, as the new opportunities come, you have to upskill and even to upgrade to make sure that you can basically grab the opportunities in a faster and even in a more efficient way. So that's basically the top 3 challenges. There are many as an entrepreneur, but those are the ones I can basically highlight, which have been always, on me or on Umurava on a daily basis.
I would say we still, I can't say quality education, but I would say maybe to paraphrase it is a lack of, we don't really have a lot of training programs that keeps, let's say, fresh graduates from different universities in Rwanda or different high school, that keeps them relevant to the job market that is out there. So I feel like that small gap that can be addressed, and for Rwandan youth or like fresh graduates be able to come to the job market and find their roles or jobs already relevant to what they studied. So that being said, I feel like being provided access to different opportunities. It can be training opportunities, or I don't know, job or internships that provides them with essentials to equip them to be able to have those skills that separates them from the rest, to be able to be successful on the job market, which is, I think, one of the things that Umurava is doing. Yeah, so I feel like having that access to the quality education as well as well-organized training programs would help young people, especially young innovators, young entrepreneurs that are doing an amazing job in the country, to be able to be more successful and feel like they are being supported more. Yeah.
The first challenge that young people face is the first thing is willingness to learn. When I say that, I mean there are a lot of opportunities, but those opportunities really need someone who has worked on his or her skill. But if you really want to go for an opportunity, but you don't have yet what it takes, then it needs you to sit down and learn that opportunity, that skill. So the first challenge would be, the willingness to learn. And to learn doesn't mean that you're going to be having what you need. It's just going to be a period of sacrificing, but with that sacrifice later you'll have what you want.
How much have you injected in building Umurava to what it is today?
As of now, we raised more than 100K USD at the moment. So now you made us to release that, but our plan is to release it soon because we want to basically to raise our pre-seed round, which is 150K USD. We are still raising to ensure that we can now announce it to the public in total, but that's what we have so far raised. In terms of what we invested in mainly, we didn't invest much money in this. We invested in knowledge and innovation. And because, of course, as someone who was in corporate, I came with my savings, but that are not that much to inject in the company. But the biggest capital we injected in Umurava was just in the knowledge, was this solution to this problem. And when you look at how our profit looks like, by the way, this year is one of our key metrics or our key goals this year is to break even. We're on the path to achieve our sustainability on the one and market around the profitability, because, by the way, Q4 this year we have to scale in other countries. So, but when you look at the direct path at the moment, we got an opportunity to say we are a startup company, but we understood to monetize from day one, which gives us even an opportunity to understand the business model around what we are building. This year, our plan is to break even, as we break even, now we can basically now get a lot of profit margin to basically, which is quite tangible and even enough. And we look at even our scalability plan starting in Q4 this year as the way to ensure that we scale it very well in 2025. So that's basically what I can respond to the numbers question that you asked. For someone maybe who didn't follow very well the conversation, we are basically a talent marketplace platform. Being a talent marketplace platform, what we do, we are matching companies and organizations with African talents. And we mainly look at really the demand skills for the digital economy. We are looking at the people in technology, people in data and research space, people in comms, marketing and creative, but even sometimes we can tap into the other careers based on the demand from our partners and the clients. And we have normally 2 business lines, which we now bring it to even the business model on each one. The number one is recruitment as a service. This is where we will provide full-time talents to companies and organizations. And to this one, we charge $100 to $500 to place one full-time talent in a company. And that's just one-time fee, one-time payment. So there is an average there. So that's number one. Number two, it's our talent outsourcing service. This is where we basically enable companies and organizations to find outsourced and freelance workforces, mainly for projects. This can be for long-term projects, or it can even be for short-term projects. But the best part around that is that we will assemble the workforce for a project or a certain scope of work, and we manage the workforce for good performance, good delivery, good project management, good track of the productivity of the employees, etc. So that one, we basically charge the margin. There is no specific, if it's a margin, it's a 40% margin that we charge to a client on the top of the workforce cost. Let's say we are going to assemble the team for a certain project, and the project has the total value of 10,000 USD. Umurava will charge on the top of that workforce cost. Remember, the whole workforce cost will be paid to the workforce. Then for Umurava value proposition, to have a platform in place, to have those features I mentioned in place, to have expertise around it in place, we'll only add 40%. We call it a markup fee. We added the value proposition to the workforce to ensure that the workforce can deliver the project very well. Then the clients are willing. Then on 10K USD, we add 40% on the top of it, which Umurava retains as our profit margin around it. So, but as we grow, we have a multiple revenue streams to be deployed and even to be launched on a daily basis to ensure that the things can be well. So at the moment, if you wanted to understand, we basically generate not that much, but we generate between 12K to 25K USD on a monthly basis. And I think it's not little for the Rwanda and whatever startup company. And when we look at the cost that we incur around it, basically, and if you understand very well, our margin, it's always around 30% on average on all of the services that we do. Where now we understand, if someone can understand the big amount we can generate on a monthly basis, and even little amount we can generate on a monthly basis, they can basically do the percentage to understand the expenses that we incur and what it requires for us to hit the profit margin. So that's basically the point around really detailing more about the business model around our two core business lines at the moment.
What growth opportunity do you see for Umurava? How much demand is there? So
I think for Umurava, it's we have growth opportunities in two ways. As Umurava, we position ourselves as an intersection between the job market and education. When it comes to education, I said we are still having the issue of skills gap, especially when you look at the in-demand careers for digital economy that we focus on. And to that one, we are developing products and the services and the solutions to invest in talent development so that we can build the workforce. That's one of the biggest opportunities because many big organizations are willing to come to finance that. And once they partner with you to finance that, you understand that there is money, again, you have to generate from there. That's point number one. Number two, we have the issue of we have the opportunity in global companies, maybe European and even American, that are willing to build remote teams, remote workforces across Africa. And in Rwanda, one of the countries that remain of these companies and organizations consider to come and set the workforce. Like this week, no, last week, we got an opportunity to secure the first French-based company, which is building two remote talents with us in Rwanda. So that's basically a quick example in just the last 2 weeks. Now you find that it's easier if you serve them better. They will introduce you to other multiple French-based companies and organizations. Same US, same UK, same Germany, etc. There is that big window of opportunities on a global market. But even locally here, many companies and organizations are shifting from traditional ways of how they have been hiring and outsourcing workforces to adopting new modern ways, like what Umurava is basically providing as the way. We are now finding many companies and organizations trusting our company, and which is good because big organizations will trust you, you serve them better, you get introductions to other partners they work with, which brings a big opportunity in the space. So in terms of impact, creating jobs, developing and demand skills, whatever for the current job market, there is a big opportunity. But even on a business-wise now, these are the products, the services that the users and the consumers are willing to pay for, which now really gives you that there is a bigger part around doing impact and even doing business around what we do. Yeah. We are basically already we are already initiating partners in Kenya, Burundi, and Tanzania, and to say that we wanted to extend our talent hubs in those countries. That's the first 3 countries we are really eyeing to at the moment. But that expansion on Africa level is for us to extend the talent hubs there, but even finding a client there. So, and also another expansion line is to getting many companies and organizations from America, Europe, boarding remote workforces across Africa. And that's where now we want to go and chat with those companies and organizations to show them how we are basically the right talent partner for them. So then you find that those are basically the wings that we are looking at across companies abroad. We are basically now also getting some partners in Germany, UK, and US. Those are the top 3 countries we are really looking at. And we have already got some clients there and partners, which is good now to leverage on that, and then we can scale it to multiple accounts, multiple clients. So that's how basically we see our expansion. And also, we might see the way we can leverage the methodology we use and our innovation, and we contribute to other sectors and the other careers that we normally now we don't look at. As long as we have a data, infrastructure, insights, we can even influence how other sectors could adopt what we are also doing in other careers and even sectors that we are looking at. Yeah. So I think the importance of collaboration will come on 2 things. So I'm basically 5 years of experience in my career just doing a job, right? So now, and I'm building a solution or a product. You want to take it global, everywhere across Africa. You are building teams on a daily basis. This is it. And sometimes there are some big organizations, like maybe big HR firms, that have been here for 20 years. The biggest difference between that big HR firm with a retail HR platform will be basically, for you as a natural platform, you have a high speed on innovation. And you do that better than how big corporates do. However, big corporates also need to innovate. You find that intersection, then you can collaborate. You get access to their enough, more than 20 years of expertise and experience, but they also get the taste of your innovation. Then you collaborate, you can shake something together, and even you can move something together. That's point number 1. Number 2, we are talking about going to Kenya, to Africa. For us, we want especially to scale it to Kenya through a partner. We don't want it to put it there wherever the physical operations etc. You get the right partner there, you scale it there. You get a right partner in other countries, you scale it there. So then you find that most of the time, the through partners and the collaborators, you are going basically to reach where you can't reach yourself as alone. That's the point. Or you find that locally, let's say in Rwanda, maybe Umurava focuses on really need demand and skills for the digital economy. But some companies will come and say, can you also do this for us in sales? Can you do this for us in hospitality? And we are like, that's not on our priority to-do list. However, we got a certain HR company which focuses on hospitality. Let's put you in touch. It's vice versa. You will go to an HR company which is specialized in hospitality, talents or workforce, and you ask them, I need a digital marketer, I need a data analyst, I need a developer. They can't do that. They will say, Umurava is our partner and the collaborator. They can do that for you. So that's basically now the reason why for us we believe in a collaboration and partnerships as ways for growth and expansion.
To unlock her potential and break free from limitations, 21-year-old Patience made a decision to combine school and work.
Sometimes when we are students, We seem to be in a room of limiting ourselves to unlocking a lot of potentials that are in us. But with knowing the potential that you have and also knowing the right place where you have to go, apply it, it's something that also shows you that you have that capability of developing yourself, developing the community. So with having that in mind, it made me to also, come together with that idea. It was something that was hard for me, to have two things that were going at a go, which was school and which was work. Yeah, I'm currently studying in the University of Kigali, and I'm pursuing the bachelor degree of law. So with studying that, that bachelor was something that really had to unlock, my potential, because it is something that I enjoy, because it's something that I liked since when I was a kid. My multitasking between schooling and work, it's something that also shows that I'm not really looking forward to go for one thing, because I know I'm capable of not going for one thing, but going for more things, and which was something that opened my eyes to also, search to different places where I can, put my potential in, or I even test it by challenging it. And with that, I had to come up with an idea of finding, how I can work while studying. And fortunately enough, I got a job. And then by having a job, in the first place, it was so hard for me to combine two things, because studying, it also requires you to give it much of your time, and also work, it also needs you to have this full time on it. It was really difficult for me to combine the two things. But when you really know who you are, where you want to go, the things you want to achieve, you just have to stop excusing yourself or having a lot of bad ideas of stopping one thing and go for one thing. So I had to find a way to manage how I can go for both two things.
Looking at how, maybe in 2005 to 2010, how young people we're not really into social, we're not involved into social kind of initiatives. But right now, most of NGOs, social initiatives are being run by young people. So the fact that we are being included into policy decisions, and also participating in different governmental programs, it makes us young people feel like we are being, we are included. We are being advocated for, and these people consider our opinions when they are making decisions. So since the programs, these social initiatives are for young people, they think that young people should be a part of it. So our ideas, our opinions matters, and that's why we get included in them. So I feel like Rwandan people, especially young people, we have been able to kind of actively participate in different programs, and also in different initiatives that Rwanda is currently running here.
If you dream it, you can achieve it. Thank you so much. You were with me, Naringwa Fiona Mothoni.